guys, don't you just love that card? So it's very simple to make. You're just going to need a piece of shimmery white paper. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then a piece of Whisper White, which is your A2 size, which is cut at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we're going to use the Brusho Crystal Colours also on this. You could also use the watercolor paper too to do this. What I did was I just laid this out. You want to make sure you have enough scrap paper down. And I did not wet the paper anything first. All I did was I tried to keep the Brusho along the edge of my paper. I tried to keep it away from the center. So when you get the amount on that you want, then I just took the spritzers, the Stampin' Up! Spritzers here, and I just kind of started spritzing around the edges. I don't want it to go towards the middle as much. I want it to stay in the edges. So it's going to depend on how much color you want on there. It's completely up to you. Then there's two options you can do. You can add more color crystals now. I like the amount of colors here, the little pops here. So what I'll do is I'll take my heat tool and I will dry this. You want to be careful when you're doing this though, because it will spread your colors out. So I always start on low, and you kind of just start drying it. See how it spreads the water? You'll see. So I mean, you can use that in your design if you want, but what I'll do is I'll just dry this. Once I get it all dry, then I'll go back on here and put some more Brusho on. So once it's dry, it's going to curl. Don't worry about that. We're going to put glue on there and it won't curl. You can kind of bend it kind of back into shape. And then I'm going to use the stamp set Beautiful Day. So I'm going to use the Stamparatus to stamp out my butterfly because I want my butterfly nice and dark. So with the Stamparatus, you can stamp out your butterfly as many times as you want, and you're going to stamp it in the same spot. And I'm going to position my butterfly where I want it stamped, and then I'm just going to close up the Stamparatus and pick that butterfly up. And then I'm going to use my Memento ink and just ink up my butterfly. So now I'm going to take the Happy Birthday stamp out of here, and I'm going to just use Happy Birthday on here. So I'm just going to mask off that portion, and I'm going to use some sticky notes to do that. You can use Scotch tape. If you have that on hand, you can use your sticky notes, whatever you want to do to block that off. And I only want to block off that because I want to stamp out Happy Birthday. So I'm going to use Memento ink to stamp that out. And then the most important part, don't forget to take this off before we stamp. Then you're just going to line this up wherever you want it on your card. So I think I'm going to put it up here in the corner. So we're going to go ahead and glue this onto our Whisper White cardstock. I want to make sure it sticks good, so I'm going to use the liquid glue to do that. Now there's a finer tip and there's a fatter tip. I'm going to use the fatter tip and just make sure I get all around the edges on here really well. And then we're just going to glue this to the front of the card. And it's going to leave a little bit of a frame. So then what I'm going to do is take a wet paper towel and go around the edge of the card and just kind of swipe off some of that color on the border. I like how it just gives it that extra little pop of color, and then it kind of leaves a little bit of a white border to kind of pop it out. The last thing I'm going to do is use the glitter enamel dots, and you know, you can pick whatever color you want to put on here. I think I'll throw a couple of pink on here. And I just put them randomly. I just did a couple different sizes. You know, use your judgment. Do whatever you want. It's your card. I'm just giving you a basis of what I did to create this card. So that's it to that card. And then here's the blue one that I did. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.